What's up? Tyler from Plugged On. I'm here with an album review. This time I'm going to talk about the 13th studio album from In Flames entitled I, The Mask. This is the follow-up to 2016's album, Battles. In Flames, they're a melodic death metal band that's been around since the mid-90s. I guess one of the bands that really popularized that genre. They've since transformed themselves into multiple different sounds. So I don't know if I'd really call them melodic death metal anymore. But, they have a lot of great albums to me. And I like this band a lot. And I feel recently, the past decade maybe, you could say, they've kind of definitely went a different path that I don't think many fans find very exciting, personally. And I'm talking more specifically albums such as Siren Charms and Battles. I think those two albums are very, very forgettable. And they tried a lot of new things with that, and that's fine. I just don't think they worked. So here they are with I, The Mask. They do a kind of a dual release thing. When they released the first two singles for this album, they released I Am Above, and they released This Is Our House. And I went, okay, one is fine, the other one is, I don't know. So you kind of don't know what you got. And that's the weird thing with In Flames. They've kind of transformed themselves, and they almost don't know. I feel like they don't know who to appeal to all the time, and they've been trying to figure that out the past few records, especially since Sounds of a Playground Fading, which I enjoy that album. It's not their best for sure, but there's definitely some songs on there that I do enjoy, and I feel just since then it's been kind of mostly turds, honestly. It's like they want to try to do some more alternative style stuff, some more radio style stuff, but then when they came back to do the metal side, the harder side, it wasn't as strong, and the other two sides weren't as strong either. So it's like, who are you appealing to? That's just the way I always thought about it. But I feel like this album, they kind of figured it out a lot more. I find this album to be good. Like, it's not one of the best In Flames albums. It's not a classic album. It's not even an album I don't think I'll put on my end of the year list. But it's an album that I have enjoyed myself listening to a handful of tracks on it. And it starts off, with Voices. I think the first 3 out of 4 songs are really fucking good, honestly. Voices, the title track, and I Am Above are solid songs where they bring the heat, they bring the riffs, they bring the energy, the aggressiveness, and they have really great choruses. Voices and I, The Mask are fantastic, very catchy choruses, especially Voices. Voices might be my favorite track on this album. It just kind of, I don't know, it's something about it gets me really fired up, especially in the verses. Just the thumping nature of the drums just really gets me fired up when the guitar's just kind of going. It's got a really good pace to it. And that chorus is super, super catchy, and Anders sounds fantastic during that. And that's another thing, like, over time, he has done a lot more singing than growl vocals, and I think this is one of his better performances in terms of clean vocals, for sure, because, like I said, I think Voices, I, The Mask, he sounds good in these songs, and there's some other ones that I'll get to, but those two songs are great, and I Am Above is great as well, and they bring the riffs. They're very similar in terms of the layout of the songs, but they put off some good vibes, and I enjoyed them. There's some other tracks on here that are kind of, I don't know, like I enjoy pieces of them, but as a whole, they just don't grab me. Follow Me, lyrically, I think that song is good. And the chorus is fine. I like the intro to that song, the acoustic, like, kind of classic In Flames intro. I love when they do that stuff acoustically. Burn is like, Burn is such a weird track. They put this one out ahead of time as well, and I feel it's very kind of, it's got a very generic chorus to it. It's a song that will get stuck in your head, but you almost don't know if you want it stuck in your head. Same with This Is Our House. It's so weird. I was in my local FYE a few weeks ago, getting a CD for my mom's birthday, and new Shinedown. They love Shinedown. Huge Shinedown fans. They just saw him last night with Papa Roach. Yeah. Anyways, so I was getting that for her birthday, and I walk in there. I'm like, "Are you serious? Fucking, This Is Our House is playing in Fye." And then afterwards, they play some pop or rap or whatever it was. I honestly don't know who it was after. I'm not trying to trash anything, but I was like, "Wow, that is really weird to hear In Flames playing in Fye." And it was "This Is Our House," and I don't know. I can get why someone would like that song. It just it does nothing for me. It doesn't appeal to me. Really, and the chorus is fine, but it's just some of the other things about it are just kind of those In Flames moments over the past few records where you just kind of go, I don't know, I'm not sure what you were thinking, or I would love to know what you were thinking, because it just doesn't vibe, it doesn't jive, and then the final track on this album, "Stay With Me." I was pleasantly surprised by that track. I think that's one of the stronger ones on here. It's a slower song. It's mostly acoustic, and Anders sounds fantastic on that song. I think he really sounds great, and that's one of those things where I'm like, okay, here's a slower, more ballad, clean song that I feel is strong from these guys. I know they can do it, but it's just sometimes they make some weird decisions, whether it's Anders' vocal patterns or the way he says certain things, or "This Is Our House," just the overall production of it. It's weird. That's some of the downfall of some of the stuff recently, I think, for these guys. But one thing I noticed, and I went back, I was listening to this album, and I'm like, man, I honestly haven't listened to Battles at all since I reviewed it. Like, after I reviewed it, I'd never listened to it again, and I'm okay with that. But I'm like, I should just jog my memory just a little bit. And I went back and listened to a little bit of it. Man, The Mask has so much more punch than Battles does. When you listen to both, put on, maybe Voices, the title track, I'm Above, or whatever, one of the harder songs on here, and go and listen to, like, The End or something off of Battles. It is like night and day, and I think that's something that really makes it sound a lot better. It's just a little bit more punch to it, and that's something that they needed for sure. In Flames has a unique sound. They always have, and they play to it a little bit more here. Like I said, I don't think this is the best album in the world from these guys, but it's something where you kind of go, okay, there's some songs on here that I enjoy listening to, where I felt for the last two albums especially, there really wasn't anything I wanted to listen to at all. This is more in the group of Sounds of a Playground Fading and A Sense of Purpose to me, of like, overall, maybe not the best In Flames album. Handful of tracks here or there, I can jam that sort of stuff. But still, none of it holds a candle to their early stuff. I mean, I'm just being honest, man. I mean, just go back and listen to, like, Horacle, Jester Race. Oh, it's so good. It is so good. I know that's not the band anymore. They're never going to be that anymore. They don't want to be that anymore, and that's fine. But I think, they just got to find their footing a little bit, to where, like, if they want to appeal to a more mainstream rock audience, they can do that, but then still have the harder side to it. They just got to make those two gel really well. And this is one of their better attempts at doing that, I think. I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10. Let me know what you think of The Mask from In Flames. Thanks for watching. See you later.